Welcome back to the channel. We've got a lot to talk about today. Chelsea Football Club have seen Mauricio Pochettino arrive at Cobham. He's had a barbecue. He's getting everyone on board. I am now more excited than a week ago. Without doubt, he's absolutely nailed his interview. Come on, Poch. The future is bright. Anyway, look, we do have stuff to talk about with Chelsea. I was hoping it would be a little bit more exciting than it is. However, it's still stuff to get into. We've got to talk about Chelsea's midfield. We've got to talk about our recruitment. And we've got to talk about departures, which is going to be the story of Chelsea's summer. And we're also talking about a couple of rivals and other teams in the Premier League and around Europe stealing our potential targets. I don't know if they're really stealing if we don't have them, but they're on our potential target list, and it looks like they're going to be going elsewhere. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers before the start of the new season. I will be absolutely over the moon if we do that. Trying to get the news out to everyone, trying to get Chelsea content, football content out to as many people as possible. The TikTok's absolutely blown up over the weekend, so thank you so much. Check me out on there. All the other socials, links in the description below. But let's get into it. Pochettino arrives at Cobham. Do you know what? I'm still not sold on Poch, but I am far more excited now. His interview, the difference between him and Graham Potter is outstanding. It's so different. The tone, the attitude, the description. Potter referred to us as the fans. We are now our fans under Pochettino. I love how he spoke. It's nothing to do with broken English either. He knows what he's saying. Phenomenal interview. First words from Pochettino. Has me on side. The way he described it, that the players should be animals. If you go on Twitter, until you have like a rate limit exceed, the quotes for Pochettino are fantastic about what he said. Everyone's picking out little things. Oh, it sounds great. And then, to get everyone on side who's not there player-wise, he's thrown a barbecue, because what do Argentinian people love? They love barbecue. They love a steak, all that good stuff. And he's got everyone together. He's meeting everyone because he wants everyone to be his colleague. He's not on another level to everyone else. That's what he's saying. And I thought he spoke really well. I'm so excited to watch pre-season now. I don't know if anyone else gets like that, but I'm at that stage. I just need football again. So as soon as pre-season comes round, here we go. I'm going to be on every game as much as possible. Just trying to stay up. Obviously, the USA ones, they're always early mornings, but let's see what we can do. I'm excited. He spoke about wanting players that want to be here, that are honest about wanting to be at Chelsea Football Club, and that is music to my ears. That is great to hear. No, the boys tried hard. Chelsea, in Poch's eyes, are the most successful club in the last 15 years, and he is here for success. He is here because we are winners. And that is everything I wanted to hear. Everything I never heard from Graham Potter. Pochettino, I welcome you with open arms. I know I've been out there as saying no, and I've been out there as saying I'm not sure on what the future holds, and I'm still not, by the way. I think there is a lot of work for Pochettino to do. He's got a lot of blending together. He's got a lot of recruitment, a lot of new players coming in. No one really is left at Chelsea Football Club that knows Chelsea. It feels like there might be 3 or 4 players, so everyone's new. I just hope that whatever's been around in the decades gone by has kind of dripped into some of these players and kind of comes up through the academy as well. And there's some remains of the glorious days that Chelsea Football Club once had, built in the foundations of this new era under Clear Lake Capital and Todd Boehly's ownership. However, Chelsea's midfield is an area that leaves a lot to be desired right now. We are potentially starting next season with Enzo and Conor Gallagher. And I know I've spoken about that before, but it looks like that might be the case right now. The Moises Caicedo deal still isn't done. I still don't know how to nail the pronunciation of his name. So if there's any Ecuadorians that have absolutely nailed his pronunciation, put out the syllables in the comments below. Like the video whilst you're at it. And we will get his pronunciation nailed by the time his name is on the back of a Chelsea shirt. So let's look at what our midfield situation is right now, what the recruitment is, players we're missing out on, players that are incoming. So, first one's first is Caicedo. He will be a fantastic addition to Chelsea's squad. He will add defensive solidarity and a high-energy press when we need Enzo to be unlocked. Because right now, Enzo's having to do all those jobs because Kante hasn't been fit and we haven't really had that type of player profile in our midfield. So with him, it probably allows Enzo to push on, be more creative, get unlocked like we've seen him do at Argentina throughout the World Cup. So that's something I'm looking forward to. That's a deal I want over the line. Apparently Chelsea is saying 70 plus 10, which would be a total of about 80 million. It depends on the bonuses that they don't always get paid, right? So it could be a little bit less, but in and around that deal. Apparently Tony Bloom and Brighton are saying they want more. They probably want closer to 100. To sum it up for you, Brighton are basically Chelsea's Klarna. They offer Chelsea fantastic payment structures that Todd Boehly likes as well and also offers to other clubs. And it just works really well. The way that they want to transfer funds to football clubs, Clear Lake Capital, and Todd Boehly's ownership, or Blue Co or something it's now called, because they've gone and bought Strasbourg as well, and appointed Vieira. They are serious. Vieira's a top manager. So come on, second team in France. Eyes are on you. I'm watching Strasbourg. I'm going to go over there and get that kit, I promise you, when everything calms down. However, we are looking at a relationship between Chelsea and Brighton that could be very favourable going forward. I think the two owners get on. I think they're like-minded. They appreciate that Chelsea will pay actually more if they can have the payment structure they like and get the goods that they want. And Tony Bloom likes that because he gets more money. So, two smart business people trying to just work out a deal. I think that's a very favourable relationship going forward. It's exactly the way to put it and simplify it for you is if you want something and you want to pay with Klarna and you're going to pay in free and you get interest free, that's pretty much what it's like between Chelsea and Brighton right now. Or sometimes you get payment structures where they charge a little bit more, but they'll give you lesser payments and it won't be interest free. That's pretty much how it is between the two teams. That's not financial advice, by the way, but that is what is going on that I can sort of see. So if we get that done, welcome to Chelsea, Moses Caicedo. I'll happily see you in a Chelsea shirt. No complaints about that deal. Do you know what? I'm at the stage now where if it costs 80 or it costs 100, that's what it costs. Because players who aren't even... I guess Caicedo probably falls into that. I don't think he's even got 50 Prem appearances. I'll go in for stupid money. So we might as well just pay it. It's not my money at the end of the day. So look, I want to see Chelsea's midfield fixed. And if it costs that, it costs that. People have all this precedence about not spending the money and obviously financial fair play. But the way Todd Boehly does it with this payment structure, I think it probably allows us to like spread the payments out and it works a little bit better in terms of amortization and financial fair play and all that stuff. So let's get that deal done. Hopefully, I wanted it to happen this week. I wanted him holding up a Chelsea shirt this week. My aim is next week, which is annoying. I don't want to see it pushed back. However, there are now other midfield targets joining other teams. We are seeing Lavia potentially joining Liverpool. Liverpool, out of nowhere, have won the lottery. They've obviously got McAllister done early doors, and that was apparently it. All of a sudden, Sabolazai's gone there for about 70 mil. He is a great player. He's guaranteed goal of the month contender. I think his numbers could probably be a little bit better, but I've watched him for a long time. Wow, he can strike a ball. Probably a good addition to Liverpool's side. He's got a Gerrard tattoo on his arm as well. What else can you want if you're a Liverpool fan? Looks like that was destined to be. If they get Lavia, though, that means they're probably doing a 180 on Thuram. Chelsea, eyes on the prize. Let's have a look at Thuram. He's probably a little bit older. He's not quite as experienced as Lavia in terms of, obviously, the Premier League. Lavia has had a season in the Premier League, which Thuram hasn't had. That's probably the only thing I'd say. Thuram at the under-21s has looked all right. I've watched him a bit. I watched France quite a bit. Another player on the horizon of incomings is there, and that's Cherki from Lyon. Apparently, the fans are pretty much manifesting this on Twitter, and now Chelsea are looking at it. I'm sure that's not how it works, by the way, but there is a lot of talks about Rayan Cherki coming to Chelsea. I'm not sure if it's Cherki or Churchy, something like that. However, he's a very talented player, French-Algerian, very, very silky skills. You know with that type of player what you're getting. The one thing I would say is there might be a reminiscence of Ziyech there. And I know Ziyech at times has been okay for Chelsea, but it's not what Chelsea need right now. And if he's going to come in and be similar, then I'm not sold on the idea. We've obviously just got the under-21 kid in from Portugal. He come on the other day for a very small cameo against England. He looks pretty good. Very small cameo. Similar to Madueke in terms of stature and size, but literally as soon as he got the ball, he beat a man. Go and look him up. He looks really, really good. And we're also in for a player from Brazil who's got a release clause of about 20 million. I'm hearing that he's already too good to play for other teams. He's going to come in and straight away potentially fight for it, like Santos might do as well. And then if they aren't going to make the first team, they can then go to a loan club like Strasbourg with Vieira in charge. What a place to go out on loan and develop. Gabby Veiga. We need to talk about him. That was a player I was really excited about getting. I've actually watched quite a bit of him. Under 21s, he's not played loads, but he's played a bit. I was excited with that move. Everything I've seen of him looks good. He's versatile-ish. I don't think he's a winger, as some people suggested, but definitely as a 10 or further up the pitch, he could do it and probably could play in like a 6, maybe if he wanted to. But I see him more of an 8 and potentially a 10. He's nice on the ball. He's silky. He's probably perfect for Manchester City under Pep Guardiola with all the departures they've had. I would have loved to have seen him at Chelsea, but it looks like Luis Enrique is going to go and get him for PSG. And I think they're going to be a force under Luis Enrique. He was probably my ideal candidate for Chelsea. And Gabby Veiga looks like he's going to go off and join PSG. So all of a sudden, Chelsea's midfield targets are looking a little bit slim. Out of nowhere today, we've seen Milinkovic-Savic might be on his way to Chelsea Football Club, or it's rumoured that he could be in talks. He's one of those players that I've watched every now and then at World Cups and Euros when Serbia have been there. He's an interesting type of player. He's very big. He'd 100% add physical presence. The thing I don't get with it is finally Lazio back in the Champions League under our former coach and player Pedro and Maurizio Sarri are over there, so fair play. They are doing the business again. Pedro, top player, one of my favourite players to ever play for Chelsea. Phenomenal footwork, could do it all with both feet. I loved Pedro. Sarri obviously just gets results everywhere he goes. It takes a bit of time to implement his style, but when it works, they build and they get success. So Lazio back into the Champions League. I can't think that Milinkovic-Savic has been there for that long. Why would he want to leave? Or is that as good as he can get them? And he's like, thank you very much. Off I go. A bit like Declan Rice, but without a trophy. I'd like to see him at Chelsea if he could live up to it. I think he's not too fast, and I think the Serie A probably helped him to cope with that. Never ever been super excited watching him play, but that's not to say he's not a good player. I probably haven't watched enough of him. Odd Serie A game and Euros or World Cup, I've seen him. So, look, if Milinkovic-Savic was to rock up at the bridge and the price was right, nothing stupid, then I'd be interested to see what he could do. I think he'd be a profile that Chelsea don't have right now, and I'd like to see it. Whenever I have watched him, he's very balanced in all areas. I'd say that's probably the best way to describe him. If you ask him to defend, he can. If you ask him to attack, he can definitely do that as well. He's a physical presence in both boxes, aerially and on the ground, and pace-wise, I'd say that's probably the only thing that's lacking. But when you're as big as him, you're not expected to have that much pace, I'd say. So, look, interesting one. That's on the horizon. I saw a little bit on Twitter. Not saying it's going to happen, but you just never know with Chelsea right now. And last but not least, more departures. We've seen Mason Mount complete his medical. We've seen Ruben hold up an AC Milan shirt. And apparently today, another Cobham grad, Callum Hudson-Odoi, a boy who had the world at his feet not so long ago. Bearing in mind, he's only 22. It feels like he has been around forever. Callum was on the scene probably 4 or 5 years ago. It doesn't even feel like it was that long ago that Bayern Munich were talking about a £60 million bid. Chelsea obviously said no. Now look, there are talks that Chelsea are going to let him, if he takes half a pay cut or like half his wages, they're just going to let him call off the deal. They'll pay him the other half and he's a free agent. What a sad ending to a kid that had so much talent. But I think that injury has just absolutely killed his game. And Callum Hudson-Odoi is still young, could still recover a career, will probably not be the exciting, explosive player that he was, and will probably need to adapt his game. I hope that he does. I really do, because that's a sad way to see any footballer go out. I hope that he gets a move that guarantees him game time and allows him to develop. It didn't really work out at Bayer Leverkusen. I'm not sure whether Xabi Alonso was having him. I don't know if that's the sort of player that he wants. I don't think he scored. Maybe 1 assist. So, look, Caltech, if it is the end, then it's a sad way to go. I honestly thought at one point the future just consisted of you on Chelsea's left wing, probably after Hazard left. And it's just never worked out that way. So that's a sad one. Wherever the future holds for you, I wish you all the best. And another Cobham graduate departing Chelsea Football Club. That's probably it today, to be honest with you, in terms of the Chelsea roundup and the news that's going on right now. I'm excited more than I was last week because of Pochettino's interview. We need some more deals done. We need some incomings. Don't worry though, long way to go. Make sure to like and subscribe the video, and I will see you in the next one.